In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to sell training courses to companies instead of one-off workshops. I'm going to share exactly what needs to be included in those courses so that decision makers are inspired to say yes. And perhaps most importantly, before we wrap up, I'm going to share with you the one thing that you should never ever call any of your training programs, because if you do, it's going to immediately devalue what you offer. If you're a consultant, a professional services provider, an executive coach, or a trainer, you may already be offering employee workshops to companies. What we're going to talk about here is really how to do more of a course, something that's not just one and done, but allows you to continue working with that organization over a period of weeks, months, or even as long as a year. And so I'm going to break down for you what you would want to include in a course in order for it to be something that decision makers are really inclined to say yes to investing in. Step one is to package the topics that you can train on into a learning journey with a clear destination. And I'm going to give you a specific example of that. It happens to be on our website, workshopsunday.com, and that's Sunday as in ice cream, not as in the day of the week. So in this particular learning journey that I'm showing you now, this is really a talent development cycle. These are the things that leaders need to know how to do in order to develop the people on their team and lead them effectively. And of course, it starts with hiring great talent, but let's look at how these 8 topics come together into one cohesive learning journey. You have provide clear expectations and feedback, coach to influence and develop, lead effective and empowering one-on-ones, manage difficult performance conversations, build a motivational and inclusive environment, practice relationship strategies that build trust, and collaborate to set and align goals. Each one of these 8 topics could easily be a half-day workshop that's once and done. So by putting these together, you're really able to help leaders be the most effective leader that they can be. And if you want that journey to be even more attractive to decision makers, you want to make sure that your modules, your topics are flexible, scalable, and modular. Meaning you want some flexibility in the order that you deliver topic, and you want to make sure that even if there's a topic that decision makers at a particular organization are not interested in having as part of their training program, you could easily pull out one topic without blowing up the entire learning journey. Because sometimes there's a topic that companies find too sensitive or that they feel has already been covered enough, and you don't want that to be an obstacle to them signing up for your course or using it with their people. Now, for each topic within your training course, there are certain components that you're going to want to make sure that you have, things that companies are going to expect from an outside trainer today. And we can take a look at that list now. We have it on our workshopsunday.com website. The first, of course, is the training presentation. Those would be the slides that you're using, whether you're standing in front of a classroom full of people or you're training over Zoom. Obviously, you're going to have your training presentation, but that's really just one of 8 components. You also want to make sure you've built a participant workbook, which is not just the slides turned into a PDF document. It's going to include things like the learning objectives and exercises and even other resources that the employees or the leaders could take advantage of. You also want to make sure that you have a recommended agenda. And that agenda isn't just for your benefit. It's also for the client that you're working with, so they can understand when the breaks are going to happen and what else is happening when. And if you have other people that you bring onto your team that you'll expect to be able to deliver these workshops, or you offer train the trainer, there has to be a really clear agenda that everyone is following so that there's a consistent experience each time that you deliver a workshop. Number 4, you need a facilitator's guide. And again, this is going to support you if you are co-facilitating a training with a leader from inside the organization. That's becoming more and more popular, where companies don't only want an external trainer delivering the content, they want to be involved in the delivery as well. or if you want to bring on another team member to help support you, or you want to train a company on how they can deliver this training to their employees, you need that facilitator's guide. You also want to make sure that you have pre and post surveys so that the employees who are participating in your workshop are able to take a survey before they start the training as well as at the end. This will help them be able to see in real time the improvement that they've experienced through working with you, and it's going to give you metrics and data that you can then use in your marketing, as well as when you have conversations with the decision makers after your training to talk about what they're going to need next from you and keep that relationship going, keep that cash flow going in your business. We also recommend including a coaching tip sheet, because any employee who's sitting in a half-day workshop with you, even if they're a leader, has a boss. They have someone that they report to. And so that coaching tip sheet is something that you can give to the leaders of the people who are participating in your training so that those leaders can continue to reinforce the behaviors and the mindsets that you taught during that training. You want to make sure you have a pre-written workshop description. You know, one of the biggest things that can undermine your success when you're offering training to a company is that the way that those leaders inside the company describe that training to the employees before they come to the training can really undermine your intention. If you don't give them the description, if you don't give them the key messages on how to talk about the upcoming training workshop with their people, you have no idea what those employees are coming into the workshop expecting. So make sure you have that description, and of course you're going to need it for marketing your workshops as well. And last but not least, you want to make sure you have some type of content and trainer evaluation in order to capture measurable feedback and results from the training participants. Again, this is going to allow you to have really great conversations with the decision makers at the end of your training, and also capture this information to help market and sell your trainings to other organizations. Last but not least, you want to offer upsells that deepen the learning experience for the employees going through your training workshop. Here are a few things that you could consider offering. First, you could offer learning snacks or learning nudges, emails or other things that are sent to the employees every week for the next 9 or 12 weeks. You can offer one-on-one coaching sessions with you or members of your coaching team. You can conduct peer labs or roundtables to give participants an opportunity to really reflect on what they've learned, ask questions, and share their knowledge with their peers. You can offer manager integration sessions, bringing the leaders, the managers of the employees who just went through the workshop into the discussion and make them part of the learning as well. And of course, you can offer assessments, things like the Kolbe assessment, the Hogan assessment, the DISC assessment, and make that part of the learning as well. These kinds of add-ons not only deepen the takeaways and the value for the learner, but it also gives you an opportunity to spend more time with the people inside the organization. The more time that you spend with an organization, the more you're going to learn about what else they really need and how your firm can be of service to them long-term, well beyond one training or one learning course. So now you know how to create a learning journey, what needs to be a part of each topic that you offer, and some upsells that you can include in your learning course. But I also promise to share with you something that you should never ever call your training because it instantly devalues it. And yet we see coaches and consultants call their training this all the time. And that's the term lunch and learn. Please do not call your training ever a lunch and learn. Even if a client says to you, we want you to come in and do a lunch and learn, you can jokingly say to them, well, I don't do lunch and learns, but I do power lunches, or I do, power sessions, or I do 90-minute immersions. The term lunch and learn immediately evokes the image of a brown bag lunch. And I promise that whatever your expertise is, it is worth a lot more than a sandwich and a bag of chips. Don't do that to yourself. Give it a powerful name that truly reflects the many, many years that you have invested in learning what you know and packaging it up for the adult learner. Don't call it a lunch and learn. If you want to see a few more examples of what learning courses look like and what should be included, you can check out our website, workshopsunday.com. That's where we offer several courses that are white labeled, where other coaches and consultants can use our content with their clients. And you can see some great examples of what those materials look like. In addition, it's important to know how to sell training courses to companies, and I have a video that covers that. So I've dropped that link for you right in the description below. You can click on that now, and I'll see you over there.